Hello, and welcome back to Thea the Awakening, where I have done some research and I have some bad news. But before we get into that, I want to click on my portrait here and just show off a few things. Quest victory, so you can see we're starting to get this filled out. That's nice. Giant's quest, nothing's happening there. Advancement quest, that 4-skull speech encounter with the orcs in the previous part, that did count as one 4-skull opponent defeated. And game difficulty, Bloodbath. I want to talk about this because I did some research between parts and I learned some things I didn't know. So Bloodbath is on, giving us a nice juicy 50% experience or 50% score modifier, plus 50%. But what does this do? When on, wounds from fights can exceed a character's health. I thought that was all that it did, but that is in fact not the case. So before I hit end turn and we watch one of our characters die, I am going to explain the formula that calculates the chance of death. So the formula, it's in Astoya, right? These people were both here. Yeah, okay, I was expecting the blood drops to show up there. So 0 out of 9, and we have negative 10 out of 10. Okay, so that'll be easy for the formula. So the formula works like this: you look at the number of wounds over maximum HP. So in this case, she's at 0 out of 9. That'll be 9 wounds out of 9. That'll be 1. So in probability, that 1 means 100% chance of death. Negative 10 over 10. That's actually going to be 20 wounds out of over 10, which is going to be 2, so a 200% chance of death. And I'm going to put the equations in the description for this part. So we have a 100% chance of death and a 200% chance of death. However, the death chance actually only counts from below 30% health. So to simulate that, we subtract 70% from that total. So Bogna here actually only has a 30% chance of dying. And Izbigniew only has a 130% chance of dying at the end of the turn. So not looking too good, but better than 200%. But wait, we have a medic. Oh, that's a terrible medic, I must say. I should actually... equipment is easier, yeah, you have a bigger window. Does anybody else have any medic skill? No. Okay. So what does medic do for you? Well, the way that this works is for every point of medic, first back up, sorry. You have only 2 medics can help out when people are dying. You have your primary medic and your secondary medic, based on who has the higher score. So in this case, primary is going to be 4 and secondary is going to be 0 because nobody else has anything, so we can ignore that. So primary medic has 4 medic skills. That means that our chance of dying goes down by 4%, 1 per point of medic. Our secondary medic would be providing half of that value, similar to gathering. So if we had a second medic character who also had 4 medic skill, that would give us an additional 2% survival chance. So where were we here? We had a 30% chance of death for Bogna and a 130 for Izbigniew. But with Radzim's medic skill here, that subtracts 4%. So this would be 26, and this would be 126. So yeah, Izbigniew is not long for this world. And we have a 26% chance of Bogna dying. Now, everything that I just said actually applies when you're not playing with Bloodbath on. So if you're playing without Bloodbath, that's what these percentages would look like. When you are playing with, if you're playing without Bloodbath, Izbigniew here would be at 0 out of 10. So they would actually be the same, effectively. So you would have, 26% chance of both of them dying if you're playing without Bloodbath. However, because we were playing with Bloodbath on, there's actually another effect. So on the one hand, the wounds can exceed the total maximum health. But on the other hand, medic ability is quadrupled. So Radzim here is actually giving us a minus 16% chance to avoid death. And a secondary medic would be half that. So if we had another medic with 4 medic skill, that would be an additional -8%. So what that means is that because I'm playing with Bloodbath, instead of 4, this is 16, which means that Bogna now only has a 14% chance of dying, and Zbigniew only has a 114% chance of dying. Okay, so that surprised me. I didn't realize that playing with Bloodbath on actually makes your characters more likely to survive, as long as the wounds don't go below 0. So that is interesting. Also worth noting, if you're not playing with Bloodbath, it used to be the case that getting up to 30 medic, or 2 medics with 20, would make your characters immune to death, essentially, because they could be at 0 health for forever and just never die. But the developers did put in a minimum 1% death chance, which I don't know if that's when they're heavily wounded or if that's when they're specifically at 0. But anyway, you can, at most, you'll always still have a 1% chance of dying in whatever that threshold is. So yeah, Zbigniew is dead. 14% chance of Bogna also dying. All right, let's see what happens.
Wounds don't always have a chance to heal, and so death can claim its prize.
Wait. I don't understand. Bogna died, but Zbigniew didn't? That's incredibly unlucky. And I have no idea why Zbigniew is still alive. Never mind, that was a waste of 5 minutes, I suppose. From what I found on the forums, it might not entirely be up to date, but there was a balance change in 2016. I think that was the most recent stuff I was looking at. I'm still going to put the formulas I found in the description, but I have no idea why this guy is still alive. And the fact that she died was just unlucky. There's a 14% chance that she would, I think. At least she gave us an experience point on the way out. Yay. Okay. She was one of our feather gatherers, wasn't she? That's really unfortunate. Well, I'm a bit at a loss now. Why does that always default to on? We have 4 and 4. I mean, we have more baskets than we know what to do with at this point. I'm actually kind of in shock right now. I'm sorry. I should be doing things, but that wasn't how that was supposed to play out. Okay, more mushroom. We have a lot of mushrooms in this group. Oh, it's because we have a lot of foods, I guess. 50 dark wood. I mean, we're getting close to a point where that's enough, probably. Although, if we're going to be building bows out of dark wood and spider silk, maybe not. Okay, how are we doing here? How much of this obsidian have we got? 40? That's probably sufficient. We'll wait until they get one more batch. Right, chance of death. So again, 14%, I think. Survived. I don't understand. I mean, I'm glad he survived, but I just don't understand why or how. One other thing I did want to mention was that the death check happens before any healing. So yeah, he should have had no chance of that at all. Up to 6. Okay. Well, we had a death. And... Alright, we're right in the middle of the night. How's your cycle look? Is it every 3 or every 6? Oh, it's every 2 turns. You know what? It's completely dark right now. We're going to wait 2 more turns, and then if it's still dark, we'll wait 2 more turns again.
Thea is not an easy place to grow up in, but alas, grow up we must. One of your children has matured into a young adult and is ready to join your village and rebuild Thea.
Okay. We get another gatherer. We get a hunter. This is unlike... this is a random event. I do quite like my hunters. I think that's what I'm going to grab. I was actually considering getting another crafter because we started with the crafting focus and then we just kind of ignored it, and we have so many warriors now. It's more like we should almost be fighting things instead of doing the stealthy or speech challenges, which is generally what I prefer to be doing with this kind of a setup. So I went too crazy on the warriors. Then again, a hunter, I'm not going to pass up a hunter at this point. This kid's always liked the wilds better than home. They'll be a great hunter.
Becoming an adult is an important rite of passage. The whole village celebrates this joyous occasion. The youngster places a food offering at the altars of their gods, in thanks and in hopes for a good future.
Polish, why do you do this? ERZ? How do you even pronounce that? Brizwit? We're still dark. Alright. Priswit, the hunter. 6 gathering. That's pretty good on a freshly minted character. Oh, I don't think I've seen this portrait before. I don't recognize the rabbits like that. Alright, so we're gonna give you the lighter basket. And then... your damage. By default, not that great. One-handed axe and shield. You don't have attractiveness, do you? No. .36 is our best stats there. 66 pounds for 72. Actually, that's pretty good. 11 and 3. And that leaves us, what, 74? Anything we can do? I think this oh, the hatchet's even more than that. Okay, I can't do all of this if I want to. 98, is this lighter? 88. So that's lighter. And that gives us 84. We can do it 80, like the short pike. Which I guess is what we're doing then. Okay, I wasn't planning on giving you piercing damage, but I guess that is what has happened. Uh-huh. Oh wait, that's not a shield then if we're doing that. Alright, you know what, we'll wear that and the shield. And I guess the hatchet. Is that really the only one-handed weapon we have? It's alright. Okay, and then right, we need to actually put you to work. Now you'll go here, because that extra 10 makes a difference. Alright. Being attacked by more goblins. I'm just glad that we had that birth when we did. We have initiative. Okay, you don't have a lot of shield, but you do have a lot of damage. I think you can kill a goblin in one hit. Nope. Never mind. Goblin's only 4. We got 2 at this point, so we're going to counter offense. A 3, okay. Get rid of that. We would have killed that one. 18. We need +4. We do not have +4. Which means that you're guaranteed to get a hit, and with 18 damage, you can kill basically anyone. Wonderful. Not really. Yeah, if I want to shield, I'd have to shield you before, because there's a 50% chance you take out Dervin. Even if I do shield. This is terrible. And then you guys are just going to get killed by whatever these goblins are. We really want to play you first. I think I'm better off risking having Dervin go down to 0 health and playing one of you right away. You're the sturdier one. You'll go first. 5. And they're going to shield. Okay, so assuming the goblin attacks here, what we have currently, you attack. Worst case scenario, avoiding attacking you at all. You hit here. This one's now dead. That means that we're hitting you for 8. Which means you're still going to get an attack off for 25. This is terrible. No, we're going to play you. Okay, good. Okay. I think that's good. Yeah, that's good. Okay, we got some good luck there. Okay, we have to go first. That's good enough. Okay, our medic is not at risk of dying. It's a lot of wounds, though. This is getting pretty rough. I think I can't afford to keep my people separated like this. I didn't even look at what these were, I just clicked on them. That's pretty mediocre, that's pretty mediocre. Okay. Okay. More obsidian. We're done with the obsidian. Oh, I didn't even pay attention to this. We just finished some dark wood here. We don't really need the wood. I think everybody's coming back. We're just going to decamp. You guys are going to come back here. And we're just going to hide for a while. And we can grab that in one turn because we have a pretty good gatherer here. Okay, Astoya, might as well check out some stuff here. That'll get us the bird meat every turn. Milorad is not particularly good at the whole crafting thing, but it's fine, you can get to work anyway. 78. Bramblewood bow, 5. Crude bow. Song of the Forest to be 6. Actually, we're not doing any of that because we're waiting on crossbows at this point, right? That was my plan. Wood and string, yep. Alright, lots of food being made. And lots of dark wood in this group, too. It's good. Good that we have lots of dark wood, I suppose. Here you can only pick up regular wood. I don't care. We're just going to keep moving. Stoya, do I have anything to really be doing here? I don't want to be leaving this many people around, but...
You lose your footing and fall into a really deep ditch. You quickly realize you are not alone and that you have fallen into a viper's nest.
Just kill the vipers and try to climb out. With this many people, including 3 fighters, I mean, it's a strength challenge to get out, too. We'll do this. It's a higher difficulty. We might get better rewards for it. There's a maze minion and 12 snakes. That's fine. Snakes aren't going to be that bad individually, I don't think. This maze minion, on the other hand, is pretty nasty. I mean, you will kill it in one hit, though. The thing is, we really need to first action you to guarantee that that's going to happen. Or we just play a whole bunch of people and hope that we can kill... I mean, there's a lot here to kill, though. You're probably going to have the first action, too. I guess I can leave you to the last, then. And then first action you with... Yeah, with this warrior here. So with that in mind, we want to play somebody who's tanky right here. Hola. And... Slava, I guess. Like 2 more, it's fine, we kill both of those. Maybe. We'll put the wolf next. It'll probably take a hit, but that's fine. We're just gonna play as many as we can. First action. Suppose really that's probably good for me. Well... It's not great. It's gonna get rid of one. Oh, that was my first... I should not have done that. I was going to first action that. Are these 2s? They are 2s. At this point, we might just want to start counter-tacticking, then. I don't think we want to play Lubo. This maze minion's going to hit really hard because I screwed this up. Because there's no point in sending you to the front now, because if you're not going to hit this... I'm relying on you hitting this, but you're going to take a bunch of hits anyway, so there is a point in sending you to the front, because... then... you are less likely... you're more likely to have some people attack you and it'll take the pressure off Pola. So I think we're just going to do that now. We're going to play you, we're going to first action you. And that way, if they do any more first action shenanigans, you're going to be blocking it. Yeah. I mean, 6 will kill that. Yeah, we'll do that. Play you. Oh, you're gonna first action. Okay, fine. You're a guaranteed kill on something, or I can just confuse. Confuse the snake to prevent, what, 9 damage potentially? I don't know. I mean, it could be 2 hits, because if Hosea doesn't attack you, If the Wolf and Tosia don't attack you, you attack once, Lubo attacks you, and then if they both don't attack you again... I feel like the odds of that happening are really low, and I would rather get in an extra hit here and hopefully kills May's minion. Good, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Okay, we didn't get Zmay's minion down, that's gonna hurt. Okay, I get to go first. I'll just play the heavy damage out first. I only got one card, really? This many people?
You defeat the snakes and can leave the cave without trouble.
Some granite. Experience. Ola's at risk of dying. Alright, well... Just gonna camp here, I guess. Camping greatly reduces the chance of death. And let's see, let's calculate this again. 2 over 8. Let's see, as a ratio, that would be 6 over 8, which would be 75%. Right, 75% of your health is wounds. Minus 70, you would have a 5% chance of dying. We have... Our sage here has 4 medic skill. A 5% chance of dying, minus 16%. You should have no chance of actually dying. So I feel like I must have this this formula wrong, but maybe it doesn't account for medic skill with that. Alright, it's still not doing anything. I should just build something that's gonna get me research, honestly. Okay, well, we didn't die. I wonder if my logic about getting more rewards out of the higher difficulty encounter was actually sound.
A small group of angry-looking wood elves. Their eyes are blackened from the corruption of the darkness, and their faces are gaunt and dried up. Only their bows remain in perfect condition, the last remnant of their bygone heritage. One steps up and spits at you before speaking. You have entered our sacred land. Now leave us some of your equipment as tribute for your sacrilege, or die.
Fighting elves would actually be interesting. I don't think I've ever done that before. But given that I have this option here, I'm going to try it and hope that this works out well for us. We did not mean any disrespect here. Please reconsider and let us talk about this.
The elves sheathe their weapons. One of them nods at you, allowing you to speak.
We know the darkness hurt your kin the most, and the curse eats away at your bodies and souls, but surely you cannot turn to common crime. Let us share some food together, not fight. So this is a difficulty 3 social challenge. I would be worried about this, but we've already beaten a level 4 social challenge against the orcs. That being said, I suspect the elves will have higher stats than the orcs did for this, especially since attractiveness is associated with Elvenwood. But we'll have to see. We have a lot of people, so... hopefully we can do a lot with it. Yeah, level 11. Yeah, this is way tougher than the orcs. Level 11 as well. A level 9 counter tactic, would that actually do anything? I do have 5 attractiveness. Means I can push Lubo or Basically anybody who isn't Tozia up to the front. 6 damage or 9 damage. Might be worth doing. Put Lubo at the front and hammer away at the Elven Mage. So if that's the plan... Well, the thing is, Lubo actually has decent defense, though. You can survive a hit of 19. So actually, we'll play you first, and we'll shuffle the Orc up the front. Or you. We'll play the Orc now. Oh boy. Alright, using that magic skill to buff yourself in a social challenge. I see how it is. Well, on the bright side, that means you're not playing anybody, so let's just... Yeah, the forest elves aren't too much of a problem. Now, support ally, actually, I could be buffing as well. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to support you up to the wolf. I can't even do anything with where it is. Okay, +2, +10. You'll do 16. 23. We won't quite get you, but you'll get her on the second round. Okay, so we have to play you now, and then we'll buff you as much as we can. Wait, was that magic? No, it must have been support ally. We're gonna first action, and the wolf just sits there. Okay. Yeah. It was pretty hopeless, but... Okay, so we got fairly unlucky there, but that'll be fine. Another Elven Mage to deal with. They're going to play it first. Yeah, this one's a lot less scary. Let's see, you do 14 damage. Well, you can tank that, so... 12. I don't have a lot of support actually on this round. That shield, that was dumb. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We'll just play everybody and we'll win. That's the plan. Play everybody and win. And rather than calculate it, I'm just going to waste a few seconds by playing the support. Yeah, can't do anything with the wolf.
One of the elves looks taken aback by your apology. She shakes her head and speaks. I cannot believe we have fallen so low as to rob people for merely trespassing. We do not even have a sacred place here. It was just an excuse. Let us eat together and have some of our ancient wood as an apology for our behavior.
Actually, we changed our mind. You must die. We'll tend food. We got lots of mushrooms, I guess, with this group.
The elves thank you for the
seaweed.
food, and you eat together. One of them speaks up. Thank you, friend, for you have reminded us of who we were, even if only for this fleeting moment. Here, have one of our bows as thanks.
Haroon's Arrow Bearer. Okay. +14? Wow. Yeah, no, crossbows are way better than bows. Well, it is using Mithril, so that's to be expected, I suppose. Bad quality, but I mean, +1 gather. And concentration acts as a spear for intellect and hex challenges, so yay. That's definitely worth the trade though, 10 seaweed for that, and more experience. Okay, well, equipment. We're definitely putting this stuff on. The Gatherer, yeah, you can get an extra +1, up to 11. I think, because you're already, yeah. You're at 12 actually, so honestly, you should probably... Oh, you should. Oh, you can't because it's too much for you. 9, 9. Okay, well in that case it doesn't matter. Okay, fine. Alright, this. Who are we going to give this to? I must say, I haven't been too impressed with your tactical options, so here, have a crossbow. That'll help. Well, we could go here, but not really any reason to. Instead, we'll just do this and bemoan the fact that we cannot gather this in a single turn, even with all of our amazing buffs. Oh. We were only 12 more gather skill off. One more gatherer and we might have managed it. I'm not waiting here 2 turns for the coal, though. I might go and deal with that, though, because... whoops, that's just trouble. Yeah, it's going to take us a lot of movement, but... Social sneak tactic. Or just fight them. We seem to be on a roll with the social stuff, so... How do you think we survived this long in the darkness, eh? By being nice or eating the bloody hearts of our many enemies? Yeah, we'll see. Keeping in mind, this is also a tier 3, so this is the same as that elf encounter we just did, but I suspect it's going to be significantly easier. Yeah, the boar is their strongest, and it's not that bad. Honestly. I mean, not that we're particularly good either, but... Should have played these in the other order. But it doesn't matter. Alright, decent. Oh, for leather, that's actually pretty good. Also pretty heavy for leather. Another another gathering bonus. It's like we should have just camped, gotten the coal. Equipment. I'll put you up to 10. Oh no, we're gonna move our way back. Need to get back to the town and start building something cool. Speaking of going back to town anyway. Yeah, we don't have a lot of herbs left anymore. Kind of run through it all. Is there any other food combinations that we can do? We've got lots of bird meat, which is good. I've got a decent amount of seaweed. Are we making that? Bird meat and seaweed? We are not. Okay. Let's just max out that. Times 8. I do actually want to get some of the other cooking recipes. I want to experiment with it, but that is not for now. I kind of want to do this kind of thing as well and continue getting some research. But I'm going to hold off on that because I want to check all of my resources. And I guess the other thing to do is consider where we're going to go next. You know, this stuff could be potentially dangerous, so I'm going to make one really big party, and we're just going to go wipe all this stuff out. And then, there's something over here. Oh, it's really far. Interesting thing going on here. Sort of map boundary. Alright, you know what? We might as well. Let's put everybody into Astoya and sort everybody out again, because things have changed. Alright, construction. This is the big thing that we've been waiting for. So watchtower. This is probably not a good use of the obsidian, but I'm just curious. What's going to happen if I do this? +4 to attract goblin. I mean, that would be the main reason to do something like this. Look at that. Also, it's enough points. What, 1667, I think? So this would count as one of our 3 impressive buildings. I don't really want to do that, though. So it's +4. We only get +1 if we do it with Darkwood. If we do it with Dryadwood, we don't get the Goblin bonus. How about with metal? Have iron. That would be not worth a whole lot. Attract beast +3 if we have using bone. You know, that might actually be worth doing. Get us another chance. Don't really have anything I'm planning on using the monster bones for, so yeah, we give ourselves some attract beast. Also, we have a lot of this. This brings it up to 4, but doesn't increase our vision. We did obsidian, 3, 2 to goblin, and only 2 to vision still. Yeah, these must not be things that increase vision. 3 and 1. I mean, that would be the cheapest way to do it. But I think I like the idea of 4. +4 to attract beast. So we'll do this. And use up the monster bones this way. Some of that sandstone. We're going to keep the obsidian for future construction projects. Alright. And like I said, I don't particularly value the watchtower, but, oh. I didn't see... Oh, right, it's right here. It's just 1,000. Yeah, so this watchtower is not good enough to actually count as an impressive building. That's fine. I don't really need it to be. Out of curiosity... Just gonna quickly... I could get a slightly better herbalist hut, but I have to demolish my old one. Pasture is something I wasn't happy with. What is our current pasture? It's like the most mediocre thing we could possibly do, right? Darkwood and mushrooms. It's only 1 food per turn, though. And I value the food more than the plus humans, because I haven't gotten a single human from this thing yet. So if I went pasture... And I really... Well, use that, I guess. Because what we determined that would be +3. Yeah, so just regular wood and grain is actually better than the dark wood. I don't know why I used dark wood on this thing originally. But if we use dryad wood, this is up to +2. Dark wood is still only +1. We use obsidian. Here, 2, 3, and 2. It's not bad. Yeah, it might be worth doing. Higher human chance, higher goblin chance, more food per turn. And the dryad wood is going to be going into crossbows later. So it's a use for our obsidian. We'll still have a good chunk of it. We'll want to gather more of this eventually, but this looks pretty good to me. Realism does not stop building or demolish this type of building to free the slot. Yeah, so we have to demolish the other one. That's something to keep in mind, I guess. And the other thing, I guess, to check was if we had done like a double obsidian smithy, how big of a bonus would that give us? +3. Yeah, we've already got +2, don't we? +2 with a chance to track demons. We're gonna leave that. That's fine. So we might destroy the pasture and try to fix that up in the future. But I guess at this point we'll build the watchtower, we'll get enough experience to unlock crossbows, then we'll start crafting weapons again. And we'll send out an expedition in the next part to finally clear out the bandits and the dragon that have supposedly been harassing us this whole time. So yeah, I will see you then.